Well, another clean sheet, but not quite the result that we were hoping for in this game. Hello, my name is Harry. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Before we do kick off the player ratings, be sure to smash the like button. Maybe leave a comment on what you thought about the game, but of course, as well, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification as well to be notified of any future content here on the channel. With that said, let's get straight into things. We'll start off straight away with Potter himself. I've said, listen, whilst his ability to rotate may be great, on this occasion it seemed like it was a little bit too much, maybe, and the chemistry in the end just wasn't there. It was good in the end. However, some of the subs came a little too late, and I know the majority of the subs came in the 60th minute or so, but some of those players, Chukwuemeka, Pulisic, Sterling, just so much more energy than the likes of Havertz. And whilst Mount didn't have a bad game whatsoever, the energy, I think he might be a little bit tired lately, you know, playing pretty much every single minute of play apart from when he got subbed off in the 45th minute against Milan. But still, those subs, they came in. I just feel like, and again, Aubameyang didn't have too bad of a game. He made an impact straight away from the 80th minute. But I just feel like on this occasion, the amount of rotation, the amount of changes that were made just might have put us over the edge a little bit in terms of the chemistry. And that might be why we didn't gel quite as well. Also, fatigue could be an issue. But I digress. Let's get into the player ratings for today's match. We'll start off with the back three. And as you can see, I feel like either way, they could all come across with 7.5 is my reasoning. And I'm sure a lot of you are saying, fucking Azpilicueta, 7.5. Listen, brilliant tackle that should have been a corner. But you can't argue that Kepa most likely would have saved it. But the chance in itself was going to go on target. And you never know. It could have crept through his legs. Could have taken a deflection and gone elsewhere, but the tackle itself was fantastic. Should have been a corner. Was given as a goal kick. Besides that, I feel like we've seen much worse performances from Azpilicueta, and with his age and with his ability as of late, he's not the same player. But I feel like this is one of his better games lately, and for sure the defence was not to blame in terms of the result. We got a clean sheet. Obviously, Kepa's to blame for a lot of that. But again, Chalobah, solid game in the midfield, in the middle of defence. Koulibaly, fantastic last ditch tackles from him. I couldn't even count on my hands how many times I thought I saw him tracking back, doing his trademark slide tackle and turn, and then the counter attack was just flourishing. It was just off and running several times in today's game. It's just a shame that we couldn't capitalise on those instances. I've given Loftus-Cheek a 6.5. I would say one of the not worst, but one of the more underperforming players in this game today. Reason being, we're used to James's performances down the right hand side, and delivery more so than not just got on my tits. It just did. I can't really think of too many occasions when the ball was crossed in by Loftus-Cheek and it wasn't blocked by the first man. I'm sure there were chances, but overall, too many blocked, misplaced crosses for my liking, and frustrating to watch for the most part of Ruben. And I'm a massive fan of Ruben. Think he's absolutely fantastic. Been really good so far this season, despite what many people say. But today just was a little bit off the ball. Defensively, pretty good, but overall, the delivery was just not on par with what we've come to expect down that right hand side. Kovacic changed the game for me. Gallagher, of course, going off injured. I don't really know. I kind of looked away for 1 second. He's off the pitch and then he got subbed. But yeah, Kovacic changed the game completely. How he wasn't on... what was I going to say? Changed the vibe of the game instantly when coming on. Upped the tempo immediately. Just we were under pressure massively in those first 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And just the impact he made, the style of play, the tempo of the game, the pressure that when it then turns to them, the passes, albeit some of them a bit wayward, some of them absolutely fantastic, and none of the players really were able to make anything of it. But I thought arguably one of Kovacic's more standout games, maybe not his best game this season, but you could argue it probably was as well. But I would definitely argue, whilst his style of play and his positioning so far this season has made him sort of in the shadows, kind of doing his thing in midfield, much like Jorginho was today. I feel like Kovacic was way more involved in the playmaking, the passing, the movement and everything like that. I thought Kovacic easily one of the best players on the pitch today, and he came on as a sub in the first half. Jorginho, Cucurella, sorry, we'll give. I can't remember what I've given Jorginho now. I think I might have to change his rating. But Cucurella, 7, obviously came off quite early in the second half, and just not too much to really say about him in this game. Just he was there, didn't play too badly, didn't play too great. I don't think he was worthy of a 6.5, but I mean, the fact that I can't really think of too much that he would do. I mean, plenty of chances. He was a bit reckless in some of his tackles. I know that for sure, but overall, not a too impactful of a game from him. Very much better in the first half than he was in the second half. But you can kind of tell I wasn't focusing on him too much. So I'm not going to just fucking blag and act like I was paying attention to him too much. I've given Jorginho a 6.5, which in hindsight is probably a little bit harsh. What are we saying? Yeah. Jorginho, I will give him a 7. I take it back. I feel like he ran the midfield right. I think I forgot to change it from the last ratings. I'll be completely honest with you. But yeah, Jorginho ran the midfield well. I've literally written down something positive, so I don't know why it would have been a 6.5 other than I forgot to change it. So 7 for him. I don't think he made quite the impact that Kovacic did in the entire game, but certainly ran the midfield really, really well. Maybe caught in possession a few times, which led to the counter-attacks, and like I said earlier, the likes of Koulibaly, Azpilicueta, Chalobah having to not track back, but deal with it well. So I think, 7 for him. Maybe a 6.5, you never know. But overall, I thought ran the midfield really, really well. Broja, first starting appearance for Chelsea, I thought realistically did not too great, not too grand. Seemed too anxious and was trying maybe too hard. The pace on him, though, Jesus Christ, in that first half move. Just, what was he, 10, 15 yards away from the ball from the player that was in front of him. And I think it was Ben Mee. Outpaced him like you've never seen. Went down. Great tackle by Mee. But got up, went to try, and then this is where I'm thinking he got a bit too anxious. Maybe the stars a bit too much in his head, and he's, the adrenaline's running a bit too much. But the cross of the ball, I think Havertz and Mount were both there. I think Mount came in first, but the squaring of the ball was there for the taking. So we could have easily scored there. And I think even Mount himself was like, you need to calm down. You need to kind of get a grip. And I said, appeared like the occasion got to him and ultimately didn't have a great game. He certainly had good appearances in the past, but this one just wasn't for him. I said he should have probably started in the games like Aston Villa, Wolves, and maybe a few other games. Southampton, I thought it made sense for him to start against Southampton, and we know how that went. But I feel like the pressure, if we won here and Manchester United won their game, we would be within 1 point of, second and third place. So there was a lot riding on this game, and ultimately it's been a little bit too, Man United 2-0 up now, so a win here would have been great for us. Of course, we play Manchester United on Saturday, so what a game that's going to be. Mason Mount, I just gave a 7. Literally, not too impactful in this game. Of course, had his moments, some fantastic passes, but not a bad performance at all. Made some great passes. One or two that put Broja in danger, I thought, at times. More wayward at times, and put, like I say, Broja more like suicide balls in terms of, you know, Broja had to stretch for it and whatnot. But overall, pretty good performance. It's a little bit hard to compare to his previous games because he has been so good and so impactful in the games. But yeah, not a bad performance from Mount whatsoever. Havertz, 6. Just what the fuck? How on earth he didn't get subbed first out of everyone, apart from, of course, Gallagher, who was injured. But how he wasn't the first player to get subbed off, I have no idea. Legitimately the worst player on the pitch for probably both sides, I would argue. Just what is he doing? What is he doing? What have I said for Havertz? How he wasn't one of the first players to be subbed, I have no idea. Did absolutely nothing the entire game. Of course, probably had like 1 or 2 instances where, you know, I think there was one where I could think of. He should have shot first time, but decided to take a touch. There was an in-swinger from Cucurella in the first half. But yeah, just fuck me. What on earth does he need to do to get dropped? Pulisic came on, great, was energetic, probably one of the better performances he's had from the bench lately. Certainly showed why he should be a contender to start over the likes of Kai Havertz. Yeah, I'm not even being harsh. Havertz just had a bad game again. And Pulisic, certainly, you might say what you think about him, but he had a good game coming off the bench. Chukwuemeka as well, a notable mention, as was Aubameyang, but Chukwuemeka seemed determined to make an impact, but maybe sort of like Broja, a little bit too much in terms of his energy. He was a little bit too frantic at times. Certainly there was a chance in the last minute where he could have squared it back to Sterling, but he hasn't got eyes in the back of his head. I think he actually did a no-look shot, which did piss me off quite a bit. But we get to the man of the moment at the moment, and he certainly is the man of the moment. Kepa Arrizabalaga, an 8, maybe even more. Saved us from many a goal in this game as well, once again. And listen, just fuck me, just so good at the moment. So good. You cannot fault Kepa Arrizabalaga at the moment. Mendy is worried right now. Kepa is absolutely on flames. He's easily in the form of his life at Chelsea so far. And yeah, just not even a bad performance overall. Just no finishing product. None of the front three seemed to really create or do too much in the way of just finishing their dinner, ultimately. That was the issue. We just weren't hungry enough, or we were a bit too weak to finish our dinner. Fatigue might be playing a part here. And with games against Manchester United, Salzburg, Brighton, Zagreb, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, there's big games to be played coming up. And we've rotated a lot for this game. So anyway, with that said, get your comments in down below. Let me know what you thought about the game, who stood out to you. You might disagree completely. I've had a few people say my views are a little bit skewed, but still, this is it. It's subjective for the most part. Of course, you can also be completely wrong, which I'm sure I have been on 1 or 2 occasions. I'm man enough to admit that, but still, my name is Harry. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification again to notify yourself of any future content that comes up on the channel. And with that said, up the Chelsea and peace.